all over me. And a massive thank you to the debating panel for making this debate possible. Hopefully I've thanked all the right people in that little spiel. If you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe. And if you hated the show, you know what to do. But hopefully you'll like it and share it with a friend if not. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Well, that was fun.
Hello.
I know it's a glow.
That was fun, guys. Well done.
Hey, Tim, before you go, where can I get them pictures that you were showing on the Hangout then?
Let's see. Jerry has them. He's got my whole Google Drive. Bob from Globebusters has them.
Can you not just provide a link to the Google Drive?
Probably could.
I won't delete anything. I'm not Brenda. The reason is I just find it artistically spectacular. That's it.
Brenda's funny.
Yeah, I do. Those pictures were fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's credit where it's due. I'm just saying that they're spectacular.
Have you considered measuring the building and creating our own formula?
Who, me?
Yeah,
well,
we
have the height of the building
calculator.
No, we don't. We're testing your calculator.
Curve calculator.
Because there's obstruction.
Yeah, and the obstruction's curved, all right, Tim.
Calculation, which would account for some of the obstruction that you don't account for when calling it curve.
So when I take a drone and I see it from altitude and it's proportional that you can start to see the buildings, how do you account for that on a flat Earth?
The optical slant migrates into the distance. See, why didn't you laugh like that in the Hangout?
Oh, it was excellent.
I live for that stuff.
Darwin, that would be an increased viewing angle, Tim.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying the focal width goes increases as you increase in altitude?
This is the problem. Your calculator doesn't deal with angles.
Who said it was my calculator?
Yeah, it is. You believe you're on a sphere. But let me just tell you the problem. We're not on air. I don't care. I'm telling you the problem. Your calculator deals in absolute values. That function excludes perspective. And perspective's real.
Well, I agree with perspective's real. I just don't understand how it obstructs buildings from 26 miles away like I see all the time.
Well,
vanishing obstruction's curve, right?
Artistic term, it's reality. We've just been told it's artistic only. Well, no. Vanishing point applies to real life. Things vanish because of angular size.
So the angular size is enough to see the building's width and height of what you can actually see, but all of a sudden, because of distance, it starts to be obstructed from bottom up.
Right. So imagine, Tim, just for a moment, that the world is flat. I know you live on a globe, that's fine. But imagine for a moment, right? In reality, nothing changes, does it? Every view you've ever seen, everything you've ever looked at still remains the same. The world hasn't physically folded up and changed shape. It remains the same. So all of the things that you're observing, if we're saying both mathematical formulas work out, excluding perspective and curve and perspective only seem to give you the same result. Only one can be true. Well, if the effects that you're seeing and calling curve when excluding perspective are still there if the world is flat, then they can only be the effect of perspective. We do see things getting obscured, but you exclude perspective.
I don't use the calculator. The only time I started using the calculator was when I was actually using it against Ranty's work, and it seemed to work for all of his observations but one. And that's the last time I came on, was when I was trying to talk to Ranty about that observation, that I told him to try to please replicate it with better atmospheric conditions, and thus far he hasn't been able to. So.
Yeah, but that doesn't change the fact that when you have done that, right, it seemed to match. Well, what do you think would happen if you included the secondary function of objects that you target getting smaller with distance? Do you think they'd be more or less visible in relation to the bulge? The answer is obvious, less visible. But that's why everyone's fighting us tooth and nail. They can't apply perspective because then none of the maths works out. And at the moment, it works out quite well when you ignore perspective, because it works because you ignore perspective and call it curve.
Do you know that, did you actually watch Red's Rhetoric and Sean Hufford's yesterday? They actually went into the math.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
They did it on a straw man tangent that is not the point that I'm making.
They're analysing the angular size in an orthographic calculation, as opposed to applying an angular size reduction for the target, and then applying the geometric mathematics. It's just a total straw man.
So this is the main crux of the argument. What you just said right there. It's very important that you stress that point. So basically, you don't. I mean, let's just say for a percentage sake. All right. So go ahead.
Say that again,
I think
Nate.
they do, Tim. I think they do.